Once upon a time, there lived a mother goat and her 7 kids. They lived in a house in the forest. Mother goat loved her kids and would protect them at any cost. She would try to teach them lessons about her life experiences. And they were so cute. 4 of them were girls and 3 of them were boys. One day, Mother Goat wanted to go to the market to sell the butter that she had made. But she had to leave her kids at home by themselves.
My dear ones, I'm going to the market. Don't you dare open the door to strangers. Please be careful.
Okay, Mom.
Okay, Mom.
When you come, show us your feet. If we believe that they are your feet, we'll open the door.
Mother Goat set off right after kissing all her kids goodbye. Meanwhile, there was a treacherous wolf wandering in the forest, searching for some easy prey. The wolf was hiding behind a tree, patiently waiting for the little goat's mother to leave the house. As soon as she left, he knocked on their door. He wanted to make use of this opportunity.
Who is it?
My dear kids, it's me, your mother. I've brought you some wonderful and delicious fruit. Open the door for me.
Hey, wait. I know this voice. This is the voice of the wolf. Remember what Mom said?
The wolf has a deep voice. Oh, my dears, please be careful and don't make a mistake, or the wolf will eat you all.
As the wolf couldn't get past the door, he knocked on the door to try his chance again. This time, he really thinned his voice to make it sound like their mother's.
My dear goats, I'm stuck outside. Come on, open the door for me. I'm so tired. I've brought you a lot of food. Why are you making your mother wait outside?
This sounds like my mother, but we need to be sure. Mother, please stretch your legs out from under the door. Remember what we discussed? Show us your feet. So the wolf stretched out his feet. Of course, after seeing the dark feet, the goats realized that this was the wolf. Get lost!
Get lost!
You're not our mother. Her feet are white.
White as snow.
We won't open the door. We won't open the door.
We won't open.
The wolf got furious. He went to the bakery and bought a sack of flour. He came back to the kids' door and covered his feet in flour, making them completely white.
This should work now. I'm going to catch the goats. You little goats. You can't escape from me.
But the wolf had forgotten one thing. The little goats were very clever. Terrified of the wolf constantly hovering outside their door, they came up with a plan.
My sisters and brothers, I have a feeling. I think that this wolf isn't going to give up easily and he's going to try to trick us. If this treacherous wolf comes to our door again, even if we see white feet, we'll peek from under the door. If it's indeed our mother, we'll recognize her smell from even behind the door.
The goats gathered round and whispered the plan to one another. They all had a different task. With joy, the wolf knocked on the door again with his feet snow-white covered in flour. This time he was so sure that he'd be able to trick the goats.
Kids, come on. I'm your mother. Look what I've bought you. If you open the door, I have a gift for all of you. Here are my snow-white feet. Look from under the door. Did you see? Did you see my snow-white feet?
When the goats carefully looked at the feet, they realized that they were way too big to be their mothers. Yes, they're white, but they are huge. Kids, this is the wolf again, not our mother. Come on, let's carry out our plan.
Okay, Mother.
I'm opening the door right away. As they planned, everyone hid in a different place. One of them hid under the blanket, one under the bed, one inside the closet, one inside the oven, and another behind the curtains. And one of them went onto the roof. Her task was up there. Their plan was coming together perfectly. Finally, the little goat, who knew that the time had come, slowly pulled on the string that he attached to the door from inside the old big clock in the living room where he was hiding, and the door opened. "The door's open, Mummy. You can come in now." The wolf that entered the house was shocked to find it empty. He couldn't see a single goat anywhere. Suddenly, he noticed something moving under the blanket. The wolf walked there slowly, holding his hands out. He lifted the blanket.
"I've got you, little one. Did you think you could trick me? No one can escape from me."
The big sister was the one under the blanket. In her hand was a bottle of spicy red pepper. Suddenly, she threw all of it at the wolf's face. And the goat under the bed poured the bottle of oil on the wolf's feet. There was oil everywhere. The wolf's face, mouth, nose and eyes were burning, so he couldn't stand on the slippery floor and fell flat on the ground. Covered all in oil, the wolf rolled over and over towards the door, trying to escape.
"Help! Help! I'm burning! I'm burning! Isn't there anyone to help me? My eyes are burning! I can't see anything!"
The kid, hiding in the big old clock, poked his head out and with a hoarse voice,
Catch this treacherous wolf and punish him. He should know what it means to try to trick us.
Upon hearing this, all the others started throwing the tomatoes they had stored in the living room from the freezer, and also the marbles they played with, to the wolf that couldn't run on the slippery ground. The goat on top of the roof threw a bucket of cold water over the wolf's head that was hardly able to come out the door. The wolf ran for his life as fast as he could.
"I'll never come to this house again. I got burned from the peppers they threw at me. I froze from the cold water, and I'm covered in tomatoes. I'm a frozen tomato. If I had thought for 40 years, I would have never thought that these little goats could trick me. Either I've gotten very old, or these goats are really very clever."
Towards evening, Mother Goat returned from the market. She had bought her little goats a lot of fruit and vegetables so that they could be healthy. Each one of them was fond of a different fruit. The mother did not forget any of them and chose them carefully. When she arrived in front of the door, she noticed the entrance was completely wet. She looked up and there was not a cloud in the sky, and it wasn't raining. She knocked on the door and called out to the little goats.
My little goats, I'm here. Open the door for me. I'm very tired and my hands are full of bags. I also have a surprise for you.
Show us your
Show
feet.
us your feet.
Show us your feet.
Mother Goat stretched her feet under the door. The goats realized that these were their mother's feet right away. Her voice was also their mother's. They opened the door without hesitation. Mother Goat screamed with shock when she entered the house. It was a big mess. Peppers and tomatoes were on the floor, and furniture was scattered all around. Mother Goat was terrified.
My God, what happened to this house? What is this? There are tomatoes and peppers everywhere. Are you okay?
The little goats told their mother what had happened to them one by one. The mother was very sad, but was also very proud of her children. Once again, she realized how clever they were. Later, they all cleaned their house together. They ate their dinner.
My smart little ones, I love you all so much. You did well today. You acted together and you defeated the bad wolf. I'm proud of you. It makes me so happy to be the mother of such clever goats.
She hugged and kissed them one by one. The next day, they all went to the police to complain about the wolf.
Oh.
They told the forest police everything that had happened. The forest police congratulated the little goats for their bravery and cleverness. He even told them that if they wanted, they could become forest police when they grew up. The goats were very happy to hear this. The wolf was caught and sent far away. He was punished to never come back. The 7 little goats lived happily ever after, protecting one another, just like their mother had taught them. Once upon a time, a long time ago, in a faraway land, there was a forest that had many different animals. They all lived there together and all got along very well. When winter ended, they would celebrate together the coming of spring. This was the time when bears would awake from hibernation, the rabbits, gazelles, and squirrels would jump for joy in the sun. They would enjoy the sunny weather, chatter away, and have a lot of fun. Every spring, there would be different activities. One day, the animals were discussing what sort of activities and competitions they should have for that spring celebration. They would have a long jump competition, best cooking contest, fast eating competition, and much more. However, all the animals wanted to organize competitions that they were good at.
I think this year we should organize a competition for picking the most apples from trees.
We did that last year. I think we should organize a fast-eating competition. What do you say?
I think it should be collecting walnuts. I'd win for sure.
Miss Gazelle had another idea. Look, friends, I have an idea. In order to make this year's competition as fair as possible, we will have a draw. Pick 2 names, and whoever manages to go round the forest the fastest will win. What do you say?
Ooh, draws! I love them.
What? A race? What if I'm picked? As a bear, I can say I'm not very fast at running. I'm not going to join.
Done! I'm very lucky. I am sure I'll be picked.
They determined a starting and finishing point. Those that wanted to join in the forest race wrote down their names and handed them to Miss Gazelle. Then she, by creating a draw, picked the 2 who would be racing against each other.
I'm going to join this competition for sure. I'm certain that I'll beat anyone who races against me. Because, as you all know, I'm the fastest in this forest.
The hare was a know-it-all and very conceited. Everyone hoped that someone would teach him a lesson. All the animals waited in anticipation to see who would be taking part in the race. Miss Gazelle started to draw the names. Okay, friends, the results of our draw are in. Our racers are Hare and Tortoise. Everyone was very upset at the results of the draw. They were talking among themselves.
The tortoise would definitely stay behind in the race. We'll have to put up with even more boasting from the hare.
We're toast!
The end of this race is already clear.
The tortoise, who heard all the animals speaking, said,
I may be very slow, but I never give up.
Mr. Tortoise, the hare is very fast, but you... Everyone knows that you're a little slow. How could you win?
Like I said, we can never know. Sometimes being the fastest at something isn't enough. What's important is to never give up. Whatever happens, I will take my chance and race.
All the animals in the forest joined together at the starting point. The hare and the tortoise took their positions and waited on the squirrel to lower the race flag he held in his hands.
Come on then, Mr. Tortoise. Are you ready to race me? Let's see how fast you are. Ha 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 ha.
Let's see.
Whoever comes to the finishing point in the forest wins. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3!
The hare immediately rushed forward from the starting point. The tortoise, however, was walking slowly, inch by inch.
I told you so! The result of the competition is clear!
The hare ran, ran, and at some point looked behind him.
There's no one coming or going. It's impossible for the tortoise to reach me. No need to stress myself out. Let me rest a little and then continue.
The hare, wanting only to rest, fell fast asleep. The tortoise, however, sweating away, was not giving up and continued to walk.
This road is too long for me, but no matter how tired I get, I will not give up.
The tortoise was walking with such determination and certainty in order to finish the race that he didn't even notice the sleeping hare under the tree. He just simply walked past him and continued on.
The hare must have reached the finishing point, but even if I'm to lose this race, I will finish it with pride.
Slowly, the finishing line of the race was starting to appear. He was getting closer and closer. The hare suddenly awoke from his sleep and started to walk towards the finishing line. He was so sure of himself, he didn't even feel the need to run.
I rested very well. Let me continue so I can finish this race and we can all start to celebrate. I'm the fastest in the forest.
After walking for some time, he started to see the finishing line from far away. But what was that? Clapping and cheering. He was in shock.
Bravo! Bravo! You won!
You taught the hare a good lesson, Mr. Tortoise.
Well done, buddy!
All the animals gathered around the tortoise who had crossed the finishing line. The hare walked up to them, ashamed of himself. He no longer had the know-it-all or conceited attitude that they were all so used to seeing.
But, how?
You must never see yourself above anyone else. Working hard and being determined is always the best way to move forward.
Yes, I think you're right, Mr. Tortoise. I belittled you and trusted myself too much. I congratulate you.
The hare never again said that he was the fastest. The tortoise had taught him a very good lesson, and all the animals in the forest lived together in harmony, peace, and happiness, as always. Once upon a time, in a forest, there lived a family of mice. They were a very large family. The smallest of the mice, Funduk, was very different from his brothers and sisters. He was very small, and his colour was nothing like his brothers and sisters. In fact, his light brown fur and his deep black eyes made him look incredibly charming. Unfortunately, he was very shy because of his appearance, and this made him upset.
Why am I not grey and black like my siblings? I'm small and I'm weak. How can I protect myself in the forest? Who's there?
He started to become frightened of everything. Even if a simple leaf dropped on the ground, he would jump high. His mother always tried to encourage him to be brave. Why do you worry so much? Every animal is created differently for a reason. Maybe one day you will understand. Please don't be upset. Come on now, give your mother a kiss. But Funduk just couldn't get the courage he wanted or be calm. His brothers and sisters even made fun of him.
Scared Funduk, scared Funduk, scared Funduk.
One day, he got an idea.
This can't go on much longer. I need to find a solution to this. If I'm indeed so scared and if I can't protect myself, then I will go to the Lion King. I'm sure he can protect me and we can then live out all our days together.
He suddenly found himself at the entrance of the Lion King's lair. The large majestic lion was lying down in front of the lair, sleeping and sunbathing at the same time. Funduk went straight up to the lion and touched his nose.
Your Majesty, good day. Please forgive me for waking you up from your sleep.
The Lion King was incredibly angry that he had been woken from his nap.
And who are you, little one? Why are you disturbing me while I sleep?
My name is Funduk the Mouse. I have a request from you.
Go ahead. Tell me what's so incredibly important. Then I want to go back to my nap.
The Lion King shook himself and stood up. He stared at Funduk, feeling annoyed. In fact, Funduk the Mouse was so scared under the glaring eyes of the king, he was actually shaking with fear, but he mustered the courage and explained the situation.
As you can see, I'm a very small mouse, and I'm very scared of the forest. With your permission, I would like to request your protection. Help me, and maybe one day I will be able to help you.
The Lion King roared loudly and tried hard not to laugh.
What? You're going to help me? If you were under my feet with one wipe of my paws, you'd go flying in the air. Get lost. Before I get even angrier, go back home.
Feeling utterly helpless, Funduk the Mouse returned home and sat sadly in a corner.
Am I ever going to be of any use? I need to find a solution to this right away. But what?
The next day, as the Lion King was exploring the forest, he accidentally got caught in a hunter's trap. He found himself hanging by a tree. He was roaring furiously. The whole forest echoed with his roar. All the animals heard this sound and went to find out what it was. But because they were afraid of the Lion King, they could not help him. The poor Lion King was struggling inside the net. Thank goodness the hunters had not arrived to the forest yet, because it was too early in the morning. When Funduk the Mouse heard the loud roar, he and his siblings went to find out what it was. He was incredibly upset at what he saw. Suddenly, he came up with a solution. Although he was small, he was also very clever. He ran towards the tree where the lion was hanging from.
Where are you going?
Where are you going?
Funduk! Don't go near him!
Funduk the Mouse climbed the tree and chewed on the net.
He must be mad! What's he doing? Come on, my brothers and sisters. Come and help me. If we all chew the net together, we can save the lion before the hunters arrive.
All his siblings jumped on the net and tore it apart. As the net fell to the ground, the Lion King stood up and roared. All the other animals hid behind the trees, except Funduk the Mouse, of course. The Lion King approached Funduk the Mouse.
Little Funduk, you are so clever. You saved my life.
Funduk the Mouse bowed in front of the king.
It is an honor to have been able to help you, Your Majesty.
The Lion King stood before Funduk the Mouse, feeling ashamed.
Funduk, I was wrong. I thought that because you were very small, you couldn't be of help to me in any way. I hurt you, yet I shouldn't have underestimated anyone.
Because of you, I was able to become confident and brave, and I succeeded in achieving my goal.
The hunters are about to arrive. Come, let's go to my lair. We can talk there.
Whatever you wish, my king.
The Lion King and Funduk the Mouse headed for the lair. On the way, the Lion King started teaching Funduk the Mouse how to become more courageous.
Funduk, I've been thinking, if you want, I can share my lair with you. What do you say?
Really? Thank you so much. Living with you will be very comfortable and great. In this way, I can also be with my mother and siblings whenever I want.
The Lion King had learned to no longer underestimate anyone, and Funduk the Mouse had learnt that it was not bad to be different from everyone else. They became very good friends and lived together happily.
Hey guys! Subscribe to our channel KONDOSAN and watch the most popular fairy tales, cartoons, and nursery rhymes. Don't forget to click the bell for notifications.